All right. So, what in the world could a stranded vlogger stuck in the middle of a river and a cartoon villain who finds a magic coin possibly have in common? It sounds completely random, right? Well, the answer is this really powerful idea that honestly we can all use, the art of ingenuity, of just figuring it out. You know that moment, right? We've all been there. Your plan is absolutely perfect, everything is going so smoothly, and then, bam, it all just falls apart. You're just left there kind of stunned, thinking, okay, now what? So, what do? Do you freeze up, or do you find a way to move forward?
Well, there's this incredible concept that just perfectly captures that spirit of creative problem solving. It's called jugad. And look, it's way more than just a simple life hack, it's a whole mindset. It's all about using exactly what you have, right where you are, to come up with a solution that maybe nobody else saw. And that idea, that lens of jugad, that's what we're going to be looking through today.
All right, let's kick things off with a real-life story. A story where things went very, very wrong very quickly, and a super simple plan just went completely off the rails.
So, picture this. We're joining vlogger Saurav Joshi and his buddies on this awesome camping trip up in the mountains. They're in this massive off-road vehicle, they're crossing rivers, really just embracing the whole adventure. The plan? Super simple. Find a nice grassy spot and set up camp for the night. Easy, right?
But then, disaster strikes. Right as they're crossing a river, miles from literally anywhere, a supercritical part of their truck just snaps. Saurav puts it perfectly. The steering wheel turns, but the tires don't. Just imagine that. They are completely, utterly stranded in the middle of a river, in the middle of nowhere. So, think about it. There's no mechanic, they don't have the tools for a major repair, and the sun is setting fast. Fixing that truck is just not happening. So the goal has to shift, right? It's not about fixing the truck anymore, it's about surviving the situation. And this right here is where real-world jugad kicks in.
And you can see their step-by-step process right here. They immediately start prioritizing. First things first, they accept the car isn't going anywhere and they focus on shelter. They set up their tents right there on the hard, rocky ground. Not ideal, but it's shelter. Okay, next up, they need a fire for warmth, for cooking, so they head into the dark forest to find firewood. What about light? Well, they get creative. They rig a regular light bulb to the car's battery. And for dinner, they build a makeshift stove out of rocks. It's amazing. Step by step, they just solve each problem using only what they've got.
But what's really incredible, honestly, is their mindset. Instead of panicking or getting angry, Saurav just says, "This is the fun of it, brother. It's a new experience." Think about that. They don't see this as a disaster. They see it as an unexpected adventure. They're actually embracing the challenge. And that, right there, is the heart of real ingenuity.
Okay, so hold on to that thought about real-world survival. We're about to do a complete 180. Let's pivot from that grounded, practical story to the completely fantastical and chaotic world of the animated show Motu Patlu.
Yeah, in this world, we're not dealing with broken car parts. The problems here are magical, and the attempts to jugad their way out of them, well, they lead to some fantastically messy and hilarious results.
So the source of all this chaos is this one thing, a wish-granting coin. The rule is simple. If you hold it and say what you want to be 3 times, you transform into it. And of course, in a stroke of really bad luck for literally everyone else, it falls into the hands of the bumbling villain, John the Don.
Now, John thinks this coin is his golden ticket, his ultimate shortcut to power. So, trying to act all tough and heroic, he grabs the coin and yells, "I am a lion! I am a lion! I am a lion!" And poof! Just like that, he's a lion. So, his very first solution immediately creates a brand new and very, very furry problem.
Okay, so now he's a lion and he's totally panicking. He tries another quick fix. He's thinking, okay, maybe a gorilla is a better hero-type figure. So he shouts, "I am a gorilla! I am a gorilla! I am a gorilla!" And just like that, he swapped one wild animal problem for an even bigger, hairier one.
And you can see the pattern here, right? Every single attempt to fix his last mistake just makes things 1,000 times worse. Finally, he's cornered, he's desperate to escape, and he goes for the nuclear option. "I am a dragon! I am a dragon! I am a dragon!" And there you have it. His idea of improvisation has led to escalating and now fire-breathing chaos.
Okay, so let's pull back for a second. On one hand, we have a real survival situation that ends with a hot meal under the stars. On the other hand, we have a magical shortcut that ends with a guy turned dragon being chased through the sky. So what is the real difference here? It all boils down to one simple thing. Motivation. For Sourav Joshi and his crew, their ingenuity was born out of pure necessity. Their goal was practical: survival, safety, comfort. But for John the Don and Motupatlu, his so-called ingenuity was driven by greed and convenience. His goal was all about selfish gain, and every single quick fix just dug him into a deeper, more chaotic hole.
In this comparison, it really shines a light on a fundamental truth about creativity, doesn't it? It's not just about the solution you come up with, it's about the problem you're actually trying to solve. Necessity, it forces you to get laser-focused on the real root problem, like we are stranded. And that focus leads to logical, grounded solutions. Greed, on the other hand, makes you focus on finding a shortcut, a way to just bypass the actual work for personal gain. And that almost always creates brand new and usually much bigger problems.
So let's just wrap this all up with the key takeaways. First, Jugaad isn't just one thing. It's a whole spectrum, right? It can range from life-saving survival to just fantastic self-inflicted chaos. And what really defines the outcome is the motivation behind it. Necessity, that fosters practical, grounded solutions that actually work. But greed, that tends to foster chaotic, often pretty funny complications. And it just goes to show that this creative, improvisational spirit is such a powerful theme, both in our real lives and in the stories we love.
And that leaves us with just one final thought to chew on. The next time you're faced with one of those everything's gone wrong moments, just ask yourself this. In your story, right here, right now, what does Jugaad mean? Is it going to be a tool for genuine survival and progress? Or is it a shortcut that's probably going to lead to even bigger trouble down the road?